Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Inspired by Miss Amber Red. Today we are talking about
murders. Murders. Killings.
I think Victor thinks I'm going to become a murderer because I watch it all the time.
I know, I do too. Casually, I'm just like, I need to, like, once a day, I just watch one documentary.
I'm just trying to relax. Watch some TV.
Yeah. Oh my God, I've been watching the Unsolved ones. I think it's on Netflix.
I've seen them.
It makes me frustrated.
Yeah. I think I've seen a lot of those. There's one on there where this guy like took his car and I think he worked for the CIA or something. Mm-hmm. He took his briefcase and he was like in his car and they found his car, but his briefcase and him was gone, and he's just caught like walking in a camera, and like he looks back like in a little like a gas station, and then he's just gone. So people like think that he maybe like jumped into the water or something, but it's like he took his like briefcase with the stuff in it, and it's just he's never been seen ever since.
Aliens,
wild aliens, 100% aliens,
stuff like that. Yeah, or like a glitch in the Matrix. I'm like, they just got sucked through and they're gone.
Yeah,
because it doesn't make sense. It's so frustrating.
Literally.
They make me mad. So, which ones are we talking about?
I know we got so many.
We were just talking about the Chris and Laci, right? His name's Chris?
I don't remember his name. Maybe.
I want to say it's Chris.
Peterson?
That's why I keep saying her name, because I know her name, but...
I told Victor, I was like, I'm pretty sure this happened when I was a teenager, and it was I think it was 2004. So, I mean, I wasn't like a teen. I was,
that case you guys are talking about?
The Laci Peterson one.
Oh, then no, maybe I haven't been keeping it.
Do you remember she was pregnant? And then she just up and disappeared. Mm-hmm. He went fishing one morning and came home.
All those things, and the dog came home with the leash.
Yeah.
The dog reappeared back at the house, and she just never came back.
Yeah.
And her body's like never been found or anything.
Oh, they found it.
They found her body. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Where?
In the lake, I think it was. Or was it the lake?
Or was it
it was buried. I'm pretty sure her body was buried.
I can't remember. I still have one episode left. Yeah, because they just put it. So this conversation came up because we were talking. It just came on Netflix, and so it just dropped on Netflix. So I was hoping that there was new discoveries, but there was no new discoveries. I'm only like I think there's 3 episodes.
So I think there's 4.
4? Yeah. I'm only like 2 in. I was about to start third one, but I was like,
yeah. How was her body found? I'm pretty sure it was like by a.
I just remember them carrying it out in a body bag, and it was by water.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if it was buried or if it came out of the water. That was at the point where I was about to fall asleep.
Yeah, it's just makes me so mad because they can't prove it was him, but everything adds up to him.
Yeah,
it's just that one makes me frustrated.
I'm like, bro, you were researching those the water currents to see it.
Yeah, no one knew he had a boat. No one. He was making anchors, like at home anchors. Like all of it just added up to like, come on, dude. You know?
Yeah.
But they don't have the physical evidence to prove it, and it's like.
So he's just just walking.
Well, they were able to prove it. He's in prison for the rest of his life. What actually made him? I forget what like the what's it called? The evidence that actually put him in jail was, but it wasn't like DNA evidence.
Wow.
They were just able to convince a jury. I think.
I love watching the shows where it's like something comes up from like 80 or from like the 1980s or whatever, and then they're like, oh, and then they start solving all these things.
Yeah.
That takes me into it because I was over here thinking there was this one when I was a kid. I was probably, it's weird that I remember stuff like that because I have a horrible memory, but I remember there was one when I was way younger, and that's why I was excited about the Laci Peterson one, because when I was really young, this little girl went missing. Her parents, they were at a resort, and her parents just went downstairs to go to dinner, and the kid,
she was like, a different country. Yes.
Yeah, and she was young.
Yes.
Like a young, like, toddler, right? And so she went missing, so like she didn't leave on her own, like this, that, and the other. And they just literally 20 years later, I saw it come through.
Yeah.
I saw it come through on like some Yahoo Mail thing, and I was like, no fucking way. I was like, I remember this story from literally when I was like 10 years old, and I was freaking out. I woke up, I was like, they found the fucking guy.
Yeah.
And Victor's like, what do you mean? I was like, you don't remember this story?
Yeah, because it ended up that she was like they were taken for the sex trafficking,
They took her for sex trafficking, and
not the parents, right? Like somebody in the resort.
No, it was the maintenance man of the freaking resort.
Tanya,
like,
you know this
cameras?
case. What's the name?
I think,
it's a little
McCann?
blonde girl. Yes.
McCain?
I think it is McCain.
McCain, yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah, and they try to blame the parents the whole time.
Literally.
Yes, I think, it was the little girl,
and they're
McCain.
Like, stop looking at us.
And there's, I think there's a different episode, or I think there's different spin-offs on Netflix, because some people think it was like this person, some people think it was the parents, some people think it was like somebody else.
Well, it just got rock solid. Like the guy, like they found the guy's like SUV or something. He had the little girl's underwear in his still to this day had it in his SUV. I swear on my life.
There was a few cases after her, I'm pretty sure, of children going missing from there. Right? Or
I'm not sure.
Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure
crazy.
that's what made them start looking at the employees and people who were working there and stuff, and they realized like it was a ring of tourists going to this resort and their kids getting snatched up.
Do you know they say Las Vegas is the #1 city to get abducted and stuff tracked?
Well, so you go in the bathrooms and it says,
I believe it.
Yeah.
Especially at like the parking garages are sketchy.
Yeah.
Even
and they don't walk you out to your car.
No.
When I was cocktailing, we would walk out at 4 a.m. You'd be walking. They put your ass like 5 blocks out back.
Yeah.
There's no lights. You're walking into the parking lot. And this isn't a parking garage. This is out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So sad.
It's like no wonder people are getting kidnapped and stolen and.
That's scary. I know a lot of times, like when I meet people, like when I'm like bartending and stuff, and then they're like, oh, like they talk about Vegas and like how like scary and stuff it is. I'm like, oh no, it's really not that bad. And then I'm like, oh no, yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're just I mean, as much as bad as it is, quote unquote, like I still feel safe.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like
same.
it's not like, oh my gosh, it's a but
it comes with the territory, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, with such
Yeah.
a busy
You're in the
city,
wrong-
you know?
Yeah.
But we have freaking mole people living in the ground. Like, there's a whole city under us, and we're just letting it happen. Like, that's crazy. Like, what? Anyways. But.
yeah, there was another story. I'm trying to think.
John Benet Ramsey.
John Benet Ramsey, yes, but it was her brother
She
this
was
whole
the
time,
beauty
right?
pageant little girl,
And
right?
it was her brother and her.
I can't remember who did it. I'm like, that was so long ago. I can't really remember that one.
I
Why does this sound
always
familiar?
just like I think
it
it
was around that same time.
I want to say I think it's because we were the same age. I don't know, like maybe like us and John Benet Ramsey, because I
Like she
remember
would have been.
yeah, because I remember being young, like super young, and seeing like her little face like in the like
Did she
the
have
newspapers,
blonde, curly
like super
hair?
blonde. She looked like those little
Little
dolls.
doll, yeah.
It was
I've
like
seen
she was
that.
like a pageant.
I remember
like a
her
pageant
window
girl.
was open or something. There was something weird. That's all I remember really from the case because it was so old.
But
I
I'm
remember-
pretty sure her brother murdered her.
What about that girl that went to Aruba? Do you remember the blonde girl that went to Aruba?
Hold on.
That
and
her-
her mom, somebody has a picture of her and like they think she's sex trafficked.
Yes.
And where is that from?
So the
Why do we know that? Is that from a show or something? Because I was just gonna say that she thinks she was trafficked.
What was her name?
And that they were looking for somebody, and that it was like a sex trafficking thing too.
Yeah, the
and there's a
kid-
picture of her with short hair, and she's like all drugged up on a bed, and the
Oh,
girl's
no,
like,
you're
that's
talking about
her.
the one on TikTok.
Yes.
She's on TikTok. That
Yes.
is wild right now.
I literally
that
have
woman is
goosebumps
looking
right now.
for
Her
the
daughter.
other girl, the Aruba girl. Sorry, we're not like coming off that on purpose. But yes, the TikTok girl, that's the woman. She's on there constantly looking for her daughter.
Wait, this is like recent, like right
this
now?
is recent.
Recent.
Yeah.
I don't remember where her daughter
Well,
went.
not that recent. Hasn't it been like a
Like
couple
4
months?
years? Or maybe years. I think it's been years.
Oh, has it? Ooh. I've only started seeing it maybe like 4 months ago.
I was gonna say, yeah, maybe it hasn't been that long, but on TikTok I see it coming up. I don't remember where she went, but this girl went somewhere and she was about to come home, like she was almost coming home, and never heard of her again. So they're calling the hotel, they're calling people, and like I think we saw
She
her
was
here.
seen
Like
at the
I think,
hotel.
yes,
And then she was seen walking out back
With a guy
on the
that
back
works
side
there.
of the hotel. Yep. And then from that point forward, nothing. Just gone. She's gone. But there was
For some
the
reason.
mom popped up recently, and there was a car in a gas station parking lot, and somebody recorded it because they were like, "That's that girl that's been missing." So they recorded it, and this is scary. Somebody should have stopped that fucking car, but they said they called the cops and nobody came.
Oh, no.
And that car took off. Nobody ever saw from that car again. But there was a woman or a girl, of that same girl's age that was like, you could tell, like you couldn't see her, and then she like sat up in the back seat of that car and like peeked over and like looked scared and saw somebody looked at her, and then completely ducked back down when she saw her. Like she got yelled at by the person driving the car,
crazy.
and then the car took off
gosh.
and nobody followed up with it ever again.
If you-
So the lady's like, what the fuck, that could have been my daughter, or it could have been
Yeah.
anybody's kid that's been
Yeah.
sex trafficked, and nobody followed up with it.
Oh, that's so sad.
This went
that's,
dead.
That's
Just-
how it goes missing, because they're like, we're gonna find people that no one's gonna cause any attention to, and
Oh, that
Yeah.
that mom, no, that mom's on it.
She's-
hot.
Yeah,
she's
so
doing
I
it
don't know
good.
why she has a Polaroid, because I think I don't know, for some reason, I just remember this Polaroid coming up, and they were, like, looking at pictures, and it was, like, girls that were trafficked. Or I don't know if it was, like, guys trying to sell. I don't know what it is, but it was basically, like, these sex workers.
Yeah.
And they were looking through Polaroids, and she was like, that's her. That's my daughter. Aww. That's her. And you could see the girl, like, her hair's different, because she had, like, long, beautiful hair, and her hair's, like, it's, like, chopped off. And you could tell, like, she's drugged up on a bed, like, she was barely opening her eyes, but you could tell that that's her.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna go conspiracy with this for a second, because I think there's like bigger intentions here. I'm like, are they whoever
like the government?
Whoever the hell is, or higher than even the government. I'm like, is like they doing this intentionally? Like, it's intentionally you're not finding these people because it's money coming in, and you're like, oh yeah, here's one, there you go, there's a new, you know what I mean? Like, that's fucked up, man. Like,
or it takes so many resources to go and put the effort into finding them because they just consider them lost cause after
it's like
some amount of time.
What's the Epstein guy?
Island?
Yeah.
Like, it's like people going to that island, like they're, you know, like they getting paid to put certain particular people on an island to like do whatever the fuck they want with them, like all because this person's got money. Like, oh yeah,
it makes you sick.
Yeah, it's so gross.
What about that case? I think it was like a little Asian girl, or I don't know if she was a little Asian girl, but something about a hotel and an elevator or something like that, and she just went missing.
Oh, the Elisa Lam case.
Yeah, and they could not figure out, like,
and she was drowned in the water tank.
Oh, okay, that's what the end of it was.
Yep.
Because they were like, they looked at all the videos, like, where did she go? They could not find her. For how long did it take to find her?
Yeah, well, it looked like people were like, oh, she was like on drugs or something, or she was on this and that, but she looked, I mean, it did look creepy. Like, some people are going like paranormal route, like some people are going another route, but it's really creepy because she's like looking and she's like ducking in the elevator, and she's like looking and then she's ducking back, and like she's like this, and like she's hiding, and then she's doing like these really weird like movements and things, and she's running in and she's running out, and then
they never found who did it, right?
No, people are saying that she like climbed into the water tank.
Yes, that's what
I never heard that one.
No, it makes no sense. She did look scared. She was running from something.
Something that's really wild, that's like local. You remember, it's maybe like 2 or 3 months back. Remember at Costco? Did you guys see that pop off at Costco? That there was 2 different cases in 1 week where there was men walking through Costco targeting women with little babies, and they were videoing them and sending them off. Come to find out, they were sending them off to sex traffic them and asking for bids on how much that they would for
like
this.
Sending photos.
I remember hearing this at Costco.
It popped up on Instagram that was going on 2 different times, and I don't remember which Costco, but here in Vegas.
I saw that on Instagram.
Do we have more than one Costco? I don't even know.
Or on Facebook,
There's like 5.
Yeah.
I saw this girl on Facebook, and she was posting. She's like, something really weird just happened, and
I've seen the one where I think it was Costco, and she was like trying to go to her car, and she was videotaping this van that was like following her around in the Costco parking lot.
That's scary.
They were legit following her. She had it all on video, and then I think she finally got help or said something, and the van noticed that she was noticing and paying attention to it.
All of a sudden took off.
Yeah, and took off. Yeah,
of course.
I think like there's so many people here in Vegas, like someone always like sees, for the most part, you think someone sees something, but I'm like, what are those about those places like that are like very rural or like Midwest or no, like our houses are very far apart.
Yeah, I'm like, what y'all doing out here?
I know, because I'm like, in Vegas, our backyards are right next to each other. I look up like, what's my neighbor doing?
Well, what's the crazy I can't say it, statistic that like every certain amount, like you're passing someone's house who has someone like locked up in it or something crazy like that?
Wait, there's actually a statistic?
Yes, like certain amount of miles they could like base it off of that you've passed somebody who's either been kidnapped or something crazy, murdered or whatever.
What's wild is there's so many like shows, movies on like Netflix, Hulu. I've seen probably every single one of them about somebody that's locked either in a shed, in a basement, and they've been there 10 years. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Those girls in Ohio that had been in the guy's basement for 10 years, and that they
like kids, right?
She had kids. I remember that.
And then the neighbor, I think his name was Ramsey or something, but the neighbor was like, I knew the dude. Like they made it a whole like song about it.
It's like, how did you not know that he had? A whole
and he
family?
was like, I seen this guy every day for 10 years. Like I had no idea until he saw the girl like sticking her hand out through.
Oh my God.
And he was literally, that's my neighbor. He's like, I've helped him like do stuff like for 10 years and had no idea. I just saw another, I think it was on Netflix. These people, they were having problems with their plumbing, and they tried to do everything themselves, and they couldn't do it. So they finally called the plumber. So the plumber come, and he starts like snaking the drain. He says he starts pulling out stuff, and he's like, this is weird. Calls 911. He's pulling up flesh and the guy downstairs murdered somebody and started flushing their body a little bit, like in the toilet. I just saw this on Netflix and I don't remember which one it was.
That's like a real story.
Look, if you're gonna be a killer,
real
let's be a
story.
little like stuffing it down your freaking
Toilet?
drainage. Like
what?
come on, like you
Yeah,
could have
that's
thought of something
wild.
better.
Oh my gosh.
You're not even supposed to flush wipies. You're gonna flush flesh.
I
Like
know.
what? Come on now.
What's the point of this? If you see something,
Say something.
something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
if you feel like anything's weird or even
It
Yeah.
if
probably is.
yes,
Yes. And if you
Literally.
guys have any cases to look into, drop them in the comments. We want to
'Cause we
know.
wanna know all the
We
details.
love this
yeah,
stuff.
what keeps you up at night?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Please.
Oh my gosh, I could go on for hours.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Inspired by Miss Amber Red, and we will talk to you soon. Oh wait, Tanya.
Yes, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and tell us your favorite story.
Stay safe, y'all.
Yeah.
Bye.